Welcome to the Academic Framework, Module 1C, Genre, Explanation Text. But where does this fit in our academic framework? Let's take a look at our house graphic and see. We always start with getting to know our students, their home language, their prior knowledge and experiences. Then we build on that with vocabulary and background knowledge. Another foundational piece of our framework is oral language. Next, we move on to the pillars of our house. Register, the degree of formality with which we communicate. Grammar, and genre, the type of text. And finally, we have assessment to finish it off. Before beginning your work with explanation text, it is important to go through your learning intentions with your students. For English language learners in particular, we divide them into two categories: content or competency goals and language goals. Using the I do, we do, you do model of instruction, you can now deconstruct this text with your students. What is explanation text? Well, there are two different kinds. There's sequential, where you might explore a topic like why does mold form on bread? And there's historical, where you might explore a topic like what events led to the war in Afghanistan? Once you've deconstructed the parts of the text, that is, the title, the identifying statement or question, the explanation sequence, and the summary statement, you and your students might be ready to reconstruct the text. Try a matching activity. Students can match the parts of the text to the structure. Or a sequencing activity. Students can put the explanation text in order. Make sure you decide where in the instructional sequence it makes the most sense to have lessons around language features of the explanation text. Now that your students have a basic understanding of explanation text, and perhaps they've had a chance to sequence and/or match, we can move on to the we do portion of the instructional sequence. As a class or in partners, you might fill in the graphic organizer shown on the slide. Students could then share their explanation texts with each other or with the class and identify the parts of the explanation text. As you are working on explanation text with your students, don't forget to embed some contextual grammatical lessons. Some of the language features of an explanation text include cause and effect and time and sequence connectives, present tense, action verbs and mental verbs, and modals. At this point in the learning sequence, your students might be ready for the you do portion of the lesson. They can try writing their own explanation text. Feel free to pause the video and try it yourself. Write an explanation text about why teachers are so exhausted on Friday afternoons. Don't forget to check off your language features at the bottom. Whatever topics you choose for your students or whatever topics they choose, we hope you have fun playing with explanation text. You can find these graphic organizers on our Microsoft Teams website.